Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago White Sox March to October. First things first though, it seemed like for whatever reason the last episode didn't get shown to as many people as it normally does. So if you did miss episode 44, make sure you go back and watch that one. And also, I'm not really sure if this pertains to anybody who would be watching currently, but I made new playlists for this series where I broke it down by season. So season 1 is its own playlist, season 2 is its own playlist. So I don't know if you're new to the series and you didn't want to watch all the way from the beginning, or I don't know, either way, I just decided to make that. So I don't know if you want to go back and watch a specific season, now it's a little bit easier too. But anyway, today's episode, I don't want to say we need to right the ship, but we got to get back on track a little bit. We had a 10 to 15-ish game stretch where we haven't been playing as good as we played in the first 35 to 40 games. But we did finish last episode off with a win. And now if we can get this win here against Detroit starting in the bottom of the 8th, that should start to build back up our momentum. And I know a lot of people like seeing where all the teams are at various points in the season here on this March to October. The Rangers, man, they're actually making some noise in the West. The Marlins are in first place now in the East, and the Mets, that was who we faced in the World Series last year. Now they're ranked 26th and they're 19-30. The Cubs are still atop the NL Central. They're at 30 wins. They're one of only 3 teams that has 30 wins. Us, them, and then this team, the Padres, who actually as of right now have a better record than I do. I really thought even with our little bit of a hiccup that we were still pretty comfortably the best team in the league, but the Padres have taken that from us. They're only ranked 5th. I did look through their roster earlier and I want to just quick glance over it, but they are loaded hitting wise though. I mean, Jake Cronenworth is up to a 90 now. They got Grisham up to an 85. Tatis, he'll be at a 99. They're the ones who signed Grandal after I didn't bring him back. Jesse Winker's there and he's playing out of his mind so far this year. And they still have Manny Machado. Even this Derek Green guy is really good against righties. They got Luke Voit and Eric Hosmer, who's also having a pretty good year so far. So especially their lineup against righties is insane, top to bottom. And they still have some pretty good players on the bench. Another shortstop coming up through the system. Really good fielding on him, and he's really young. They got 2 catchers. This one's more of a prospect, Campusano, already up to an 80. James Wood, his numbers or his attributes aren't that great, but his numbers are pretty solid. It's really just their pitching that's probably holding them back from really being on our level. Because I would say hitting wise, you could make the case that they are approaching, if not on our level. But pitching, they're really not even close. I mean, they got a solid rotation, but even their number 1 guy, or I guess 1, 2, and 3 all being 84, they're not even as good as our 5th guy in our rotation, and their bullpen is pretty weak except for their closer Austin Adams. I thought Liam Hendricks was off to a good start, I guess before he gave up a couple runs and blew a couple saves, but this dude is blowing that start out of the water. 19 saves in 19 games, no runs allowed for this guy. So yeah, I don't know. As of right now, if we're looking at the standings, it might be kind of destiny that we end up facing the Padres in the World Series this year. So let's do our thing here. Let's continue righting the ship. Let's build up some momentum. Let's get out of this jam here against Detroit because they got 2 on. They've already scored 3 this inning, and it looks like Garrett Crochet is new into the game. So we probably can't take Crochet out. Seems like he's only faced the 1 batter. What has gone wrong this inning? Dude, hang on for a second. Look at Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing second base today. Our backup catcher is in the game when it's not an off day for our catcher, and he's 4 for 5. That's what we like to see. He's having a really good year. That's kind of why I was more than okay with getting rid of Tucker Barnhart. And it was, dude, look at that. This is exactly what I've been saying that I think happens to Kopech every time. He had an amazing start to the game. They left him in just a little bit too long, and he gave up 3 runs in the 8th with, I'm assuming, the guy on second still his responsibility. That's why his numbers aren't good. I guarantee if they take him out after 5 every game, I really just hit him to start off too. But I bet if they just limited him to 5 innings every time, regardless of how good he's doing, he'd probably have like a ERA in the 2s. We really got to lock it in here though, man. Can't believe I really just hit him on the first pitch. Ooh, that was big. Oh, you gotta chase that. There we go. He was just take happy there. He wasn't swinging the bat. That's all that was. That was big. Now we face a generic looking lefty with 2 outs. And that's just going to be right to Luis Robert in center. No harm done. We get out of it with the lead. I feel like every time I step up to the plate with Vaughn, I got to do something because we got to do whatever we can to get his season going. And I'm not going to be able to get that one through. That's a decent swing, though. Oh, we get a Shohei at bat. I don't think I've hit a home run with him yet, right? I think the only reason I'm foggy on whether or not I have is because I had that one that Kyle Tucker like scaled the second row to bring back. Oh, he just threw a perfect 2-seam right like that. I swear, man, every time I sit down to play some March to October, it just reinforces that the pitching in this 3rd season is just way tougher than it's been. I don't even know what happened there. That wasn't a good pitch. All right, well, no extra runs, no extra cushion for Liam. He's got to do it with just the 1-run lead, which worries me because his last outing was not strong, and I did give up a home run. That has to be an out. We got plenty of speed to make that play. There we go. Oh, he wanted it. There we go. Should have just done that instead of the curve in the first place. I'm gonna go right back up to the top of the zone here. 0-2. And he couldn't hit it. That is more of a Liam Hendricks outing. Either way, it's a win, and we actually got 3 fireballs for it. I wasn't expecting that. That'll be really good for momentum. I'm hoping we have a good stretch of games here. Oh, never mind. It did the thing where it said 3 and only gave me 2. All right, well then hopefully this is a quick turnaround. We do sweep Detroit. There we go. I'm liking this, picking up the wins again. This is looking more like us. Wait. Oh my god, talk about things I was not expecting. A Tucker Barnhart call-up opportunity? I'm not gonna lie, there is a very small part of me that is intrigued to do this because 1, there would be a chance to get him an attribute increase, and then who knows, if I do good, maybe he becomes an 80, which then he'd be a little bit more useful to us. Also, if I do bring Barnhart back up and send Montgomery back down, then I don't know. Well, what I was gonna say is then maybe he would get another chance to be called up, and then we could get another chance to get him a better attribute boost. But my other thought was, I don't know AAA versus the bigs, what kind of progression he would have. Like if having him in the MLB right now is better for his progression, or if having him playing every day, getting at bats every day in AAA is better for his progression. Because he's not doing that great. He's batting 071 with a couple walks. You know, why am I actually leaning towards doing this? Because he's struggling. I don't want to ruin Colson Montgomery. I laughed when this first popped up because I thought it was ridiculous, but the more I sit here, the more I might do this purely from the standpoint of just getting Montgomery back down and then opening up the possibility of maybe another call-up with another potential boost, and at least maybe getting him better development than him just sitting on the bench and then getting a start here and there where he goes 0 for 4. So I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to call up Barnhart and send Montgomery back down. I really was not expecting to do this. This wasn't even on my radar, but it might be the smart move. Because could you imagine if I get a second chance to get Montgomery an attribute boost? Maybe in a month or so from now, it pops up again, and then I go 3 for 4 with a nuke, and he becomes an 82. I think we're going to do that. So yeah, Tucker Barnhart is coming back up to the bigs. Montgomery's getting sent back down. I think if you would have presented me with this choice before I sat down to record, I never would have thought I would do it. But the more I sat here, the more it seemed like a smart move. So I guess now we get to player lock with Tucker Barnhart, try and get him an attribute boost, and at the same time try and extend this winning streak. This is looking more like it. Projected wins back up to 102. Lead in the division back up to 8 games. We're still not better than the Padres because they haven't lost a game. I also didn't think of potential extra benefit to getting Montgomery back down, as we also did get him a 1+ performance boost. So back down in AAA, he might be doing even better than he already was, meaning even more improvement. The more I think about it, I think this was actually a really good move. So let's just see if we can make the move even better by getting Tucker Barnhart a little bit better.
Yeah, Boog, but I don't think they're expecting him to be an MVP just yet. I mean, they know he's not done developing, but they they definitely think he has what it takes to be a major contributor on this club. So,
man, that's kind of funny. I feel like they didn't have a second set of lines for Chris Singleton to read when it comes to calling players up, because they're talking about Tucker Barnhart not being an MVP yet, but he still has time to develop. Dude's 33. And, oh, get out of here with that. Come on, that's a 2 RBI base hit down the line. All right, here we go. At bat number 2, we've taken a lead. 2-1. Got a guy on again. That's gone. That's leaving. Oh my God, Tucker Barnhart? Have I been missing this whole season? Dude, I ripped a line drive with him that just kind of happened to get caught by the third baseman, and now he goes yard. I've been ripping on Tucker Barnhart since the beginning of this season, and here he is having the best player lock already that I've had all year. Oh, when I pressed the button, I thought I might have gotten him again. Dude, oh my God, he is making solid contact. We got to straighten it out. No way. No way. Please get caught. Oh, I don't know if I could handle Tucker Barnhart going deep twice, but he's flirting with it. I mean, I drove in another run. I didn't even realize that. And that, oh, that's another really good swing. It was just right to him. And I guess we're going to end the game with a pop-up right to him. 11-5 win. Barnhart drives in 3 and goes deep. Look at that. We got him a 3+ to the performance boost. So how much better is it going to be when it comes to the attributes? I'm still shocked at how good I just did with Tucker Barnhart. Why does it lie to me though? Why does it lie to me? There it's saying he only got 2. It was saying before he got 3. We're going to keep the winning streak going though into Detroit, or against Detroit at home, but we did lose. Still took 3 of 4. And now we just got a basic game against the Orioles to finish off the month of May. We're sitting at 42-17. Now we have to be better than the Padres. We are. 1 win better than the Padres. But more importantly now, how good is Tucker Barnhart? Okay, he only went up to a 79. Nothing crazy. See, and that is what I was wondering. Hitting a home run with him didn't boost the power, so it really doesn't matter what you do in the game. It seems like it's always going to be the bigger boosts are going to go to contact, vision, and discipline. Even with a homer, he still barely goes up in power. But this was never really about upgrading Barnhart. That was just a plus. And dang, dude, Montgomery already has gone up 1 overall. He was at a 78, right? And he's picking right up where he left off. Those numbers have actually gotten slightly better. Now we just need a fast track with Wes Kath. All right, before I waste too much time talking about stats, because I get way too into it, let's get on to this game. This will probably be it for this episode. Another one where we just got to hold on to the lead. They're going to have a runner on third, though. This is a bit of a jam. Runner on third, only 1 out. This might not be that easy. In such a high scoring game though, I gotta see what happened. Who has done it on offense for us and who has given it up? No homers, 9 runs on no home runs. Eloy's got 3 hits, a bunch of guys with 2. Oh, and this, okay, it was a Kopech start, but he did the exact opposite of what I thought he'd been doing. He came out of the gates struggling this time. 6 runs in only 1 inning. But again, we're stuck using Crochet, at least for this at bat. I'm not sure how much he's been in so far. Actually, no, I think he's gotten 1 out and given up 1 hit. So we could take him out after this batter. That's good. Ooh, he couldn't hold up. I'm pitching around him because walking him would not be the worst thing. But he swung at a couple pitches and he swung at that. Huge. Now they need a base hit to bring that run in, and they have Gallo coming up. So we're gonna keep this lefty-lefty matchup. 2 strikes to Gallo. Maybe I gotta stick with the fastball, and it got him up above the zone. Huge couple of batters for Crochet. 2 strikeouts with a guy on third to leave him there. That is a relief pitcher. TA? Can he get it over his head at least? No. Dude, that wall. Oh, and that's a good swing. But late side of good, I guess that's what happens. Wow, and it's a Tucker Barnhart game. All the big bats are showing up today. I still pull off on those sinkers. All right, well, again, only a 1-run lead for Hendricks. That ERA keeps climbing, but he hasn't blown a save since last time, so I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter if he comes into games with a lead and gives up a run, just as long as he doesn't do it in this spot. Oh, nice. We just fooled with him that time. We went up and in, he took it, then we went low and away. He was way out in front. Back up and in, he didn't know what to do. Ooh, that was bad and scary. 3-2 though. I don't know if he's early on the heat like that. Oh, pick it up. There we go. Nice play. Even if he didn't even mean to make it. Another upstairs heater freezes him. How do you look at that? All right, well, that says 3 fireballs of momentum. I'm gonna guess it's only 2, because that first game we played of this episode was basically the same situation, and then in the end it said 3 and only gave us 2. And yep, it's only 2. Why did they do that? Why did they gotta lie? Actually, that did seem to boost that circle though, as much as 3 would, and not quite what 2 would. All right, we lost. Wow, why did we lose a couple games? What was going on there? We had momentum. We weren't, well, I guess the Reds are better this year, but let's focus on this now. We got another trade chance to pop up. It still seems like they don't really get what we want here because they're offering us another 32-year-old pitcher. We don't need that, man. This is not the trade we need. We're not looking, I mean, even though we do have the kind of record that we would be buyers, I'm not being a buyer at the deadline. Actually, if anything, I'd be acting as a seller, because I'm looking to get rid of Hand and or Barnhart for prospects. So I'm a seller at the deadline who also happens to be the best team in the league. You've never seen it before. We're making waves here. What do the Blue Jays want to give up? Yeah, same thing. Same thing. We don't need it. And the Tigers, oh, this is a bit more up our alley. We'd have 2 more years after this one. He is only an 80 though, and you know, Kopech obviously is an 85, but now that we're seeing Kopech struggling more, maybe it would be beneficial to move him to the bullpen. Yeah, that ERA, man, that's up to a 5.59. The FIP's still at 3.50. I know he just had that really bad 1 inning 6 run allowed start. Oh, dude, is it the time? Because getting rid of Yoelki, that does stink, but we gotta be realistic. At this point, is he ever gonna get good enough to make our team? I mean, our outfield as it stands right now is Eloy, Robert, and Vaughn left to right. I mean, I guess Eloy is a free agent. We gotta find out what happens, but ideally, I don't plan on losing any of those 3 guys anytime soon. And with Yoelki being 26 and only a 71, you know, how much time does he got? This one, though, this Enriquez, you know, he probably has a bit more upside being only 21. But then the question also remains, how much do we even need him? Because we have, I mean, for now, we have Anderson for 3 more years after this one. We got Turner 2 more years after this one. And we've got Montgomery and Wes Kath coming up through the system as infielders. And we also have that Phil Marks guy, I think. And then the only other guy we're getting rid of is Hand, who I would just be sending down anyway for Skubal. Skubal's season so far, he is coming out of the bullpen, and he's doing okay. He's given up a lot of homers, though. We would be making him a starter, so I don't know how that really affects his numbers. Maybe he'd do a little better. I mean, I guess if we look back to the last time he started, it'd be 22, and he wasn't that great, but he's also probably improved by, who even knows, maybe 8 to 10 overall since then. But really, what's the harm? Because I already talked about why we probably don't need either of these 2 guys. We don't really need Cespedes or Enriquez. Wow, am I really about to do this? Am I really about to make this move? I mean, he's got a good pitch mix too. When I use him, in the games I use him in, he'll probably do pretty well. What is going on with the Tigers though? What are they looking to do? Because they've offered me now 3 different pitchers. 2 of them being more future guys. Matt Manning and now Skubal with a couple years of team control. That's also the big thing with Skubal, is we'd have him for 2 more years locked up, not having to pay a ton for a pretty good arm. Actually, that might be what pushes it over the edge. He's only getting paid 1.9 mil, so he's gonna be pretty cheap for us. I think I'm gonna make this trade. I'm doing this trade. The more I sit here, the more I can't really find a reason not to. It sucks to get rid of Cespedes, but like I already said, we gotta be realistic with it. I am gonna make this trade. That is the second thing that has happened this episode that has surprised me. If you told me before I sat down that I was gonna be bringing Barnhart back up from the minors and trading for Tariq Skubal, that would have just caught me completely off guard. I might have been too scared to sit down and record, but now here we are. I'm doing this. We're locking it in. There's no going back. Tariq Skubal is a sock. And I would assume that this next key moment here is a Tariq Skubal player lock. We'll get a chance to use him in his first start with the team, get him a nice little performance boost for the rest of the year so he'll be even better. And I'm going to go ahead and make this move right now. Kopech is getting sent to the pen. Overall, might help the team a lot better because not only are we getting Skubal, who has better stamina and might do better as a starter, but Kopech adds another righty to our pen, which we've kind of been lacking. And with his skill set, he might just be better in the pen. So that's where we're going to leave it today. Skubal's game will come in the next episode. This was a good one. Again, like I said, very surprising episode. But we got a bunch more wins under our belt. That graph is looking way better. I think long term, by the end of this season, both of the moves I made, I don't think we're going to regret these moves. I don't know, man. I'm just feeling good after that. I'm feeling optimistic. So guys, make sure you hit that like button for me if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about both those moves. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Starting to close in on 900. But guys, thanks for watching today. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.